The Parker family had been watching the weather report all day. Dark storm clouds gathered outside their windows as thunder rumbled in the distance. "Looks like we might lose power tonight," Dad said, checking the weather radar on his phone. "Let's make sure we're prepared." Emma and her little brother Jack helped their parents gather flashlights, check the batteries, and place candles in safe holders around the living room. Mom filled several containers with water and made sandwiches that wouldn't need refrigeration. "Why do we need all this stuff?" Jack asked, watching Dad arrange the emergency supplies on the kitchen counter. "These are our fail-safes. Remember how we learned about backup systems? When one thing stops working, like electricity, we need alternatives ready to go." Emma nodded. "Like how airplanes have backup engines and computers have backup power supplies." "Exactly," Mom said. "Being prepared with multiple options is how smart systems work." Just as they finished their preparations, the storm hit with full force. Rain pounded against the windows, and the wind howled through the trees. Then suddenly, click, the house went completely dark. "Power's out," Jack called, a hint of excitement in his voice. Dad calmly reached for the nearest flashlight and switched it on. The beam cut through the darkness, and soon the family had several flashlights and battery-powered lanterns glowing around the living room. "Our fail-safes are working perfectly," Mom said with a smile, lighting a few candles in their protective holders. The warm, flickering light created dancing shadows on the walls. Instead of feeling scared or frustrated about losing electricity, the Parker family turned it into an adventure. They gathered in the living room, surrounded by the gentle glow of candlelight. "What should we do without TV or internet?" Jack wondered. "I have an idea," Emma said, reaching for a deck of cards. "Let's play Shadow Monsters first." She positioned her hands in the candlelight, creating a shadow puppet on the wall that looked like a barking dog. Jack laughed and made his own shadow creature. Soon they were putting on an entire shadow puppet show, with Dad joining in to create elaborate birds and rabbits that seemed to dance across the walls. Later, they played card games by lantern light. Mom taught them a game her grandmother had taught her, and Dad told stories about when he was a boy and his family had lost power during a big storm. "We made a fort out of blankets and pretended we were explorers in a cave. It's one of my favorite childhood memories." Inspired, the family gathered pillows and blankets to build their own fort in the living room. Inside their cozy shelter, they shared jokes and stories while munching on the sandwiches Mom had prepared. "This is actually fun," Emma said, her face glowing in the lantern light. "I almost don't want the power to come back on." Our backup systems aren't just keeping us safe, they're helping us have fun together in a different way. That's what good fail-safes do. They don't just prevent problems, they create new opportunities. When the lights finally flickered back on the next morning, the Parker family felt a tiny bit disappointed. Their night without technology had turned into a special memory they would cherish. At breakfast, Mom suggested, "Maybe we could have a power outage night once a month, even when the power is working." "Yes!" the children cheered. "After all," Dad said with a wink, "sometimes the best fail-safe is creating good times together no matter what happens." From that day on, the Parker family had a monthly lights-out night, when they would turn off the electricity on purpose, light their candles and lanterns, and enjoy the simple pleasure of being together without the distraction of technology. And whenever real storms came, instead of worrying, Jack and Emma would look at each other with excitement, knowing that their family's fail-safes would keep them not just safe, but happy too.